That is neat. All right. Yeah, I will look into them. Thanks, Dave.
Hey, TD, what do you think about, well, they call them Bobby, but Bed Bath and Beyond this week?
Oh, I'm afraid to touch this one, man. Everybody's like
I am
still
too.
going like it's gonna squeeze again. I'm like I don't know. I don't know.
It depends on what they do with the money problem. It depends on if they go bankrupt or not, right?
Yeah, it does really all hinge on the bankruptcy outcome. So the big deal right now is they've I see this triangle. I don't know what the hell happened that caused this massive gamma squeeze is such an outlier that I kind of just have to ignore it on my chart and look at the pattern of what everything was doing here. And what I see is that it found support on its 200 hourly average. And on the daily, it struggled to maintain, like it didn't even hold up its 200 daily, but it held up the 100. And now it's bouncing with a spinning top right here. So I really like the tight consolidation here. It's a good look. It's a very good look for the company from a technical perspective. The uh, the only problem that I really see for them though is that what are they going to do about servicing their debt? And I do have some ideas about like what's going on with Ryan Cohen in that because Ryan Cohen, he's a businessman. He's a smart dude. He knows what he's doing. But I also don't think he's in the same class as like the narcissist that you usually see running like major corporations. He came from humble beginnings. He's a very different sort. And he's very similar to Eric Finman in that way. Ryan Cohen and Eric Finman both came from like, modest means. Their, family was, kind of well to do, but like not super wealthy people. Ryan Cohen jumped straight into entrepreneurship right away, and he had several successful businesses and built himself up from a young age, and that's what he did. But he crawled from he crawled out of that like middle class uh, lifestyle by working very hard on building businesses. So he's a smart dude that knows how to play the game, but I also don't think that he wants to see people get burned on this stuff. And I think what might be happening, I know I'm really putting on the tinfoil hat now, but I started looking at the tinfoil hat stuff that like GameStonk or what is it, the r// Super Stonk Reddit stuff. And I started going back and connecting some of the dots with his past tweets and stuff like that. And yeah, I now am convinced that Ryan Cohen is actually communicating with the retail investor right now. Um, the latest thing that he did make mention of was that, or the last thing that he tweeted out was a Star Wars reference, and and the company that he just got added to as a board seat was the Dragonfly Inc. that does financing, business financing, and venture capital. Well, there there's a ship in Star Wars called the Dragonfly that was like the original that was like the original Empire ship that predates the Tie Fighter. Um, it's like a it's a weird Star Wars reference. Um, but there's a heroic scene where the where a dragonfly swoops down and it picks up some of the heroes right before the ship that they're on blows up. So they like narrowly escape on a dragonfly. And the company that he is part of, being Dragonfly Inc., is doing venture capital. Now, with Ryan Cohen selling his shares the way that he did, there's a specific clause that comes into effect because he had only just recently been working with Bed Bath and Beyond to be added to their board, and he had to surrender his board seat and sell his shares because he was in conflict if he took a position with Dragonfly. And I think that might be because Dragonfly might be rescuing Bed Bath & Beyond by offering that venture capital. And there's an additional piece to this. With Ryan Cohen having recently sold his stake in Bed Bath & Beyond, he did it so quickly that there is a specific obscure rule called the oh god, what was this called?
The short sale profit rule or
That's
something.
it. It was the short sale. It was the short sale rule. That a board member, if they sell their stock within, I think 90 days or maybe it was 6 months. The point is he was within that time frame, and all the profit from that sale is obligated to go to the company. So what I suspect is that he did this to give Bed Bath & Beyond a major cash infusion, because most of those shares that he received were awarded to him as being as a part of being added to the board of directors. So he gives up all of his profit back to the company for selling their stock at hyperinflated prices, because we cannot deny that this was an absurd price for Bed Bath & Beyond to reach. And now if he's going to be running Dragonfly Group, which is doing venture capital for many, 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 many companies that are all in the same process of converting these brick and mortar stores to e-commerce centers of business, Bed Bath & Beyond is a natural candidate, because Bed Bath & Beyond already has major distribution infrastructure that can work to basically overtake the e-commerce sector.
Well, Bye Bye Baby, if you look at the SEC filing, he suggests that Bye Bye Baby is an ideal candidate for e-commerce, and he suggests that they sell that off to clear their debts. It was in a filing about 6 months ago.
I'm going to have to read that.
It basically looks like it lays out the entire plan for Bed Bath & Beyond the first time that he bought into it. It says Bye Bye Baby is an ideal candidate for e-commerce, and he reckons that they could get 1 or 1.5 billion for it if they found the right investor for it. Which would completely clear all of Bed Bath & Beyond's debts.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. I'm looking at the I think that I'm looking at the right filing now. Let me write down the timestamp for this for YouTube land.
So if while you're looking that up, if that's true, then we've established that they've received temporary financing for the immediate, and they already have a plan in the works potentially, if this is true, for complete essentially debt removal and a new business model with retail backers or retail investors backing them and very interested in them as a meme stock. So I don't know, where does everybody sit? You think there's still a chance, everyone?
I like the fact that in the 8K, when everyone was asking what was going on just recently, Bed Bath & Beyond just came out and said just thanked Ryan Cohen for his advice, basically, which I think was a nod to what the plan that he had proposed originally.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to throw probably not a lot, but I'm definitely going to get some options.
Because when they announced the sale of that, if they came out and announced the sale of Bye Bye Baby for like 1.5 billion or something, that's gonna the price of Bed Bath & Beyond is gonna skyrocket.
Yeah. He sold all of these contracts into the market when things were going crazy.
So he basically provided them with the liquidity injection, you said?
That's what we're thinking. And he did it all with call options that he purchased from the market.
So that means he drove the price up before he did it?
Yeah. Which is basically market manipulation, but how are they going to prove it, you know? How are they going to prove that he did that? Because the only thing that he ever has to do is just like, I really like Bed Bath & Beyond. When the stock price shoots up, you know?
And he didn't benefit if all the proceeds went back to the company because of that rule. So just, I don't know if that would make it technically not manipulation.
Technically, yes, because he didn't take the profit for himself. This, if the short sale rule requires him to give up all profit back to the company, then he basically provided them with free capital. He he did it with his own cash. He bought all of that stock, and he was awarded some from the company as a part of his board seat for RC Ventures. And then he was able to turn it right around, sell it into the market at super inflated prices. Bed Bath and Beyond gets all of their profit from that sale. Ryan Cohen gets all of his money back from the original purchase, and then RC Ventures is able to take a board seat at Dragonfly Inc., which is able to consolidate all of the infrastructure and bring them all together. So you have Bed Bath and Beyond, Bye Bye Baby, Chewy, and what was the other one? I guess GameStop also counts. But I want to say there was another one. Anyway, with all of those companies coming together, you might actually have like a massive e-commerce giant on the scale of Amazon coming together. And it might even replace Amazon because this is actual product that is being, you know, that's being quality assured and checked over by an American company as opposed to e-commerce where any dumb schmuck can just go create his own e-store and then hire a print to order company in uh like in the middle of Far East, like having having cheaply made products in sweatshops in China and Malaysia and Indonesia and etc. Shipping products over here for extremely cheap prices because of the total lack of labor law over there.
And whatever's going on, it's appealing enough for them to get funding for a loan by someone.
Right. Something is going on that Ryan Cohen knows what he's doing. I'm fully convinced, and I think that this sale, while it does suck for retail because you have a lot of people that FOMO'd into this thing and just dump their money onto it, that are absolutely getting burned. Ryan Cohen might actually be communicating with everybody in an effort to try to save people from making mistakes, so that he's burning the right people, like burning Wall Street, because he bought those options specifically from underwriters on Wall Street. That was the only way he was able to get that. So he burned he burned Wall Street on some of these. I'm going to have to look into when these purchases were actually made and where he could have gotten those shares from. I'll have to cross-reference between holdings from other companies and their 13F and 13D filings. This is going to take me a while, but I can do that. I can do that another time. We don't have to do that here. That'll take me a long time to get that together. But I think the consensus here is we do think that Ryan Cohen may have just provided Bed Bath and Beyond with a major cash injection, that he might actually save the company. Like there might be a rescue operation happening here. He's not dumb. Like he knows that the core of Bed Bath and Beyond's business is functional. Let's see. What's this statement? I haven't read this yet. We believe Bed Bath presently satisfies financial sponsors' interest in specialty retailers with recognizable brands, niche assets, and sub-banners, and margin expansion opportunities. A private market participant with a long-term vision could unlock meaningful value by running the core business for cash and initiating a public offering for Baby at the optimal time. After stripping out the sizable costs of being a public company and setting a more focused strategy, we suspect Bed Bath's core business, excluding Baby, could generate attractive earnings. We're supportive of corporate leaders receiving significant compensation when they produce superior shareholder returns. But when it comes to Bed Bath, we contend there need to be improvements to the company's executive compensation structure and a stronger ownership mentality in the boardroom. We believe these improvements should be made regardless of the company's strategic decisions. Hopefully, leaders act with urgency to implement the aforementioned suggestions. Given that I am the chairman of GameStop and overseeing a systematic transformation, I'm not in a position to join Bed Bath's board and personally drive the initiatives outlined in this letter. This does not mean, however, that RC Ventures will not seek to hold the board and management accountable if necessary.
That's exactly the filing I was talking about. That's the one.
He is going to buy this company. He's going to buy Bed Bath & Beyond. He's going to provide them enough capital so that they can get out of their debt, because if he doesn't, then the bondholders and the creditors are going to take control of the company and just take them to the fucking cleaners in the bankruptcy courts. And he can't let that happen. But if he takes their debt off the table and they get it paid down, he can buy them out of their positions, take all of their shares back, and he can seize control of the company through a second venture capital. I think that's what Dragonfly is for. Interesting. I'm going to spend some time digging into this a little bit later. I don't want to distract from the meeting too much, but this is interesting to me, and I think that my opinion of Bed Bath & Beyond is improving a little bit here. Not the company's current board, but the possibility of Ryan Cohen seizing control of it. I think that this could be a hostile takeover that I actually want to participate in. It would be fantastic if Ryan Cohen did seize control of this, because this is the type of company that he knows how to run, whereas the board of directors that have been running Bed Bath & Beyond have literally been running it into the ground and just profiting off of it by collecting a paycheck. I think they have no interest in actually running the company to success. They've gotten very lazy, and they stopped caring. And that's exactly why Bed Bath & Beyond is in the position that it's at right now. It's like there's no real excuse for how they run the company. It has the capability. There's plenty of brick and mortar stores even in worse shape before the pandemic than Bed Bath & Beyond that still survived and managed to succeed coming out of it.
Maybe they're, how do you say the word harbinger? Harbinger?
Harbinger?
Maybe they're harbinger of what's to come. All the corporate beasts eating themselves because nobody cares about the company anymore.
I think that that's the distinct possibility, because we've seen the same lethargy from most of the corporate giants and a lot of the executives that are running all of these companies in cyclical fashion. The way that these guys operate is they have a parasitic relationship with the companies that they run, and that's why I pay close attention to the CEOs. Because the ones that build their own companies and go to the next thing, build them up and then make it great, and then go to the next thing and make it great, and they're just looking for the next adventure, as far as I can tell. That's where I see value in the individual. And this is, by the way, why I wanted so badly to talk to Eric Finman, because after researching so much about him and seeing what he did for all of his other venture capital initiatives, he always was in the mode of creating things and building things and making great things and creating change, and it's a good attitude. It's a great attitude. And Ryan Cohen has that same attitude. I think he just drives it full heartedly into the businesses that he runs. And maybe not. I might be misjudging him here, but I think that business is his priority and making it successful rather than affecting social change. But the way that he communicates with retail is kind of interesting. I feel like he's doing his best to skirt around the SEC because they are obviously watching him, but the way that he communicates makes it so that he always has plausible deniability. It's kind of smart. Elon just doesn't give a fuck. Elon is the guy that's like, yeah, you should definitely buy this stock. I'm gonna go buy a few million of these, like, or you should buy this altcoin. I'm gonna buy a few million of next week or something. I'll figure it out. We'll work out the details. But yeah, you should buy it. It's gonna move the market. And Elon just doesn't give a shit. He'll just pay the fines.